Okay, ready to start, Teal?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Babble the Boba. Today we have with us TEAL0T. Yay! Would you like to
Yay!
introduce yourself to the crowd?
Yeah, of course. My name is Teal or TEAL0T. My Twitch name is TEAL0T in game. I am a streamer, a Twitch streamer who does Valorant mostly, but I play at any other Riot games. I used to stream League as well, TFT, and then I also play like Phasmophobia, like any other type of like party games too, like I used to play Among Us. I hate Among Us.
Oh.
Um, um, Pummel Party and all of the above. But yeah, other than that, other than streaming, I am a graphic designer by
Oh.
trade, and also a dancer. So
Whoa.
that is me.
So, what first got you into streaming? I guess, yeah, that's the question.
What first got me into streaming was basically I wanted to play more games with people, and I've always loved playing video games. And back when I was little, I used to always play like I love the Final Fantasy series, period. And then I played a lot of like fighting games, some FPS, but not very much. And then when I started to play League a lot, I decided that maybe, I should just stream it because I'm always playing, and why not stream it? Because, if you're going to play it and you're having fun, why not just show everyone? So, and plus I wanted to stream so I can build a community and make more friends in terms of playing different video games and whatnot. And it has definitely done that, to be honest. So yeah.
Oh. So, what does your routine look like for the day, or I guess week?
Um, my routine for the day usually is try to wake up at a decent hour. I am a horrible sleeper. I sleep at like, I don't know, 7 a.m., 8
Oh my
a.m.
gosh. DJ
And
gang!
then I know, right? But I usually try to wake up at a decent hour, and then as much of a nerd as I am, I will go straight into doing warm-ups for Valorant and and getting ready for stream because I stream most days out of the week. Other than that, on my off days, I usually just take the time to organize everything, kind of relax, clean up a little bit, um, and try to improve on my streaming
Mm-hmm.
by looking at clips, looking at gameplay, thinking of new activities for viewers and everything. And yeah, it's nothing too crazy. Like my schedule is nothing. I mean, my routine is nothing too crazy. It's kind of normal.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's not normal is my sleeping schedule because that's non-existent. But
Understandable. um,
what?
oh, I said it's understandable, like.
Yeah.
So, have you ever felt burnout, I guess, when it comes to streaming, or just in
Yes.
general? So,
Many times.
how do you pick yourself up again when that happens?
There's a couple ways to do it. If it gets really bad, and it has been kind of bad for me,
Oh no.
uh, I I took a break from streaming for a little bit, only because you start to realize that streaming, like, you have your online presence, and if you stream a lot and you start to get burnt out from it, you kind of sacrifice your IRL presence
Mm-hmm.
and all your IRL duties or your responsibilities or basically like real life, to be honest, like your friends, family, whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's good to get away to get in touch with reality again. So I think that's very important. And then the other thing that I do to not get burnt out is, or when I am burnt out, is try to do something different. So if it's a certain game that I play all the time, like Valorant, and I'm getting really burnt out, I'll try to think of another game to play so I can relax. And usually when I do that, I'll play like, I don't know, I'll play TFT or I'll play like any other random games, just because like it's easy to burn out on a game that you play all the time. All the time. So having like something different works out very well. Yeah, that's what I do.
Fair. What never fails to cheer you up?
Friends. And but I don't have any. It's okay.
Wait, what?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh.
The other thing that never fails to cheer me up would probably be like movies, anime, music. Like those are the things that like always cheer me up. Oh, and doing calligraphy too.
Oh, you do calligraphy?
Yes.
What got you into that?
Being a designer by trade, when I was in college to be a designer, I really loved typography. Like it was one of like my favorite things ever. And one thing that I remember when I was a kid, when I was in like grade school, it was I used to always write love letters to many girls. But when you write a love letter when you're in like grade school, you write it in cursive, and you write it in the best cursive you could ever do. And I remember like I had the worst penmanship ever. And in high school I used to write poems as well. So what I started doing was that in college I took advantage of typography and learning all that, and then went into calligraphy because I loved it. I think it's completely beautiful, just how the letters are done, just how you write it. So I started practicing every single day, like from hours on end for like the longest time. And I think it's been about 10 years of me doing calligraphy. So that has changed my life dramatically, because it's the most calming thing that you could do for me. The most calming thing I could do is just like kind of just do calligraphy and like, you know, write things down or work on my penmanship and just write, because writing is a good tool to like relax and get your thoughts out on paper and just leave it there. I think that's very, very important too. But yeah.
Wow, this is a new side of you. I remember actually I think I saw one of your Instagram pages that was dedicated to calligraphy, and I thought that was really pretty. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, Teal! That's so pretty! What the heck?
So that's a good example.
Oh my gosh! I'm mind blown! What the heck?
So basically, like, I don't know, like I used to do it a lot. I used to go to like coffee shops like every other day and just sit down and just do calligraphy. I just think it's very helpful, and it's to be honest, it's a good way to like meet people as well. You know, because they see you do calligraphy and they're like, oh, that's great, like can you write down my name or something? I'm like, sure, why not? So I'll start like doing people's names or like random words, random sayings, whatever. But yeah.
Do you use like a special materials or a special ink?
There's a Yeah, there's a lot of materials that I have used, like a fountain pen, like the normal nib fountain pen, quills, like that traditional thing. Um, and I have all my inks and everything too. And then I've done like different other pens, like different fountain pens. And then I found something that I love the most, which is a brushed pen. And it's this brush pen right here. And basically it's made out of like horsehair type of thing.
Oh
So
my
it's like
gosh.
so it's like horsehair, and that's what I did the Eclair thing just now. And brush is one of my favorites because it's like it's portable. You don't have to deal with dipping your pen into ink. And yeah, it's really nice. So yeah.
Wow, this is like a new side of you, Teal. I was not expecting this. Whoa.
I'm pretty sure it's the same side of me. No kidding. No one asked. If people asked, then it would have been fine.
So, what other hobbies and interests do you have then?
Other than designing and calligraphy, I have been a freestyle dancer for a very long time. So I do like freestyle popping, which is another branch of hip hop, and I've done that competitively for quite some time, to be honest.
So
quite some time.
What made you get into dance?
So in high school, there's many reasons. I guess the root of everything is my love for music. Growing up, I think music was one of the closest things to me, and I grew up listening to all kinds of music because I practically grew up in my aunt's bar. She owned a bar. So like it was like family run too. So like my aunt was managing the bar, my uncle was a bartender, my grandma was working in the kitchen, my mom worked there as a bartender. And basically they had like the old school jukeboxes and just listening to all kinds of music that was playing that everyone would request or put in, whatnot. I started to fall in love with R&B and soul. And then after R&B and soul, it was like hip hop. And then going from there, I grew up with that, and then I loved it. And then in high school, I wanted to get a little closer to music. So one of my friends was dancing at the time, and I talked to him about like, oh, how'd you learn that? Or like, I really want to be able to do that. So he basically put me on to different dancers and different scenes, different dance scenes, and yeah, the rest was a little history after that. I have gone through a lot with dancing, from being horrible at it to being pretty decent. Yeah.
Wow.
But I think one of the things about me is that like I really love entertaining. So like I really love like performing, entertaining, and that goes for like dancing, that goes for like showing my art or doing that, to streaming, to most of everything that I do. And yeah, so I just love sharing art and like sharing my thoughts and ideas to everyone.
Is there any other hobbies that you'd like to talk about?
Any other hobbies? Is being a weeb a hobby?
Sure! Yeah, talk about it! What got you into anime? I'm curious about how like people get into anime and stuff.
Imagine being a weeb. Jeez. I'm kidding.
No, imagine being a normie. I barely know any normies.
True. What got me into anime? Let's see here. Well, I I loved comics when I was a kid. I loved like watching Sunday, cartoon shows
Mm-hmm.
and watching like the original Spider-Man, X-Men, and everything. And then on the other hand, then there was like Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess like I would say Pokemon was like my gateway drug
I think
because
it's a lot of people's, let's be honest.
so like so okay, what I was in elementary school
Mm-hmm.
for Pokemon, and like after digging into Pokemon and like learning all about it and whatnot and being a fan, you naturally go into like wanting to watch Dragon Ball and
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Ball Z at the time. So then you fall into Dragon Ball, and then after that, you're just like, oh, what more can I find? And then that's when I found like, Inuyasha
Mm-hmm.
and like Cowboy Bebop and Trigun and Full Metal Alchemist, and then kind of like slid down that road and was like, I really love this. I really love this type of animation. Um, I really love how anime like kind of they don't really censor themselves.
Yeah.
Um, so when it comes to like um the gore or sometimes nudity, whatever, fan service, or like even, society or like political things, like they put it all in their anime, and it's not monetized by anything, so like
Yeah.
it's kind of open.
Um.
Whereas like the cartoons in like the States or whatnot, like it's very monetized. Like they try to plan out like, oh, you can't say that, you can't do that, you can't show this, like
Yeah.
Pokemon, you can't say a Pokemon died, it fainted. Like that type of thing, you know? Like so um I really appreciate it because it feels more natural to
Yeah.
watch. So yeah.
Um.
Except all like the tentacles and everything. I don't know if that's
The
natural or
body
anything, but
proportions, maybe too.
yeah, that's it.
Um. When you were a kid, did they also have anime on television? Like, was it showing on cable at the time for you as well?
Some, some did show it on cable. Like of course, Pokemon and Dragon Ball were the easiest to watch.
Yeah.
Because they were everywhere.
Yep.
It wasn't until Cartoon Network
Yeah.
started putting out Toonami, and once Toonami came out, like that's when all anime started to pour in. And I think that's what did it. And other than that, like it was just very hard to watch anime here because no other place would really show it. It's not like Nickelodeon would show it or like the Disney Channel would show it or anything.
Yeah.
So so yeah, you're stuck with like Cartoon Network and
Did the
during
states
late night Toonami,
did the
you
states
had
also
anime.
have YTV though? Because I know for us Canadians, we had YTV, and at night, Friday nights, they used to have anime night.
Oh, yeah, we did not have that.
But
We just had Cartoon Network's Toonami.
did you notice that by the time, like over time, I think anime was losing its popularity. So what happened was they would push it back because a lot more
Mm,
new shows were coming, and then over
mm.
time, it just like it would just show at like 2 a.m. and then you know what? It just stopped because that's what happened
Yep,
on YTV.
yep, yep. Anime always showed at night. If it wasn't if it wasn't Pokemon, it was showing at night.
Yeah, because
That
I
was it.
because I remember actually like my first like actual anime was Inuyasha, and they would
Ah,
always
yes.
show it at night. However, as more anime and more shows, like other daytime shows came, Inuyasha got pushed back, and it got pushed I think like till what 2 a.m. So then I had to go
Right.
to sleep because I was a kid still then.
Actually, I think the other animes that were out, that you could watch easily was like Card Captor Sakura
Yeah.
and
I think One Piece too,
what
because
was
One
it?
Piece was on 4Kids TV.
Yeah, One Piece, and then Sailor Moon was during that time as well, and Saint Seiya. Yeah, but I never really got into Saint Seiya. I don't know why. I just never really got into it, to be honest. But but yeah, it was very limited for a little while, and good thing that one of my cousins, was really really big into anime when I was a kid. So luckily for him, like he kind of like opened up more anime, to me. But it was hard during that time, because
Yeah.
like right now, anime is more acceptable,
And accessible
and
too.
yeah, and like the thing is like back then when I was a kid, like if you were watching anime, you're just like that nerd, or like everyone thought it was kind of like hentai or whatnot. So it's kind of like misunderstood.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
yeah, like it was funny because like even in high school, like the anime club, um, the anime club had no Asians in it.
Oh, really?
Granted, the fact that it would, Asians were like maybe 3 to 5% of the school, but still, like,
Oh, okay.
but in general, it was a very small group. Um, I didn't join it at the time because I was doing other stuff at the moment, but they used me for, they brought me in. Well, basically, they asked me like, "Hey, Eddie, can you do the yearbook photo in Anime Club with us?" I'm like, sure, why not? And I guess it was probably because I was Asian. Asian club. But yeah, it was interesting. But all those people were great. They were lovely people. But it was something that you understood that if you watched anime and you're like a huge fan of it at the time, you're kind of casted out basically as being like a nerd. Weeb, the term weeb wasn't really there, so it was just being a nerd. Yeah, and that goes hand in hand with like playing video games and watching anime or reading comics, or being deep into like watching all these cartoons or whatnot at the time.
I feel like gaming has the community has exploded. So yeah. I feel like it's like you're not playing games, you're not normal.
True. And I think Twitch really helped with that.
Definitely.
I think after giving it a platform, no matter what people use the platform for, I think it has like made gaming so much more acceptable in society. It's made it so people can, have opportunities to, make money and live off of just gaming. And I think that's great. So, yeah.
So, what's your favorite anime?
My all-time favorite anime is Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood,
yes.
and the original. Like, here's the thing, and I will explain. I put them both on the same platform. And as much as people don't like that, all I'm going to say about that is like, all right, one is more geared towards the manga, and the other one is made just for TV or whatnot, but both of them have such a solid story. And like, yeah, it's a little different between the two. Actually, it's quite a bit different, but it is still both just really great, and I loved it. I absolutely loved Full Metal Alchemist, and as like one of the proof for that is my transmutation circle. So yeah. So I have a transmutation circle, but with that transmutation circle, I actually I'm such a weeb. I took this circle and I made it completely historically accurate towards alchemy.
Oh
So
my
like real alchemy,
gosh.
like and teachings, like I took all the symbols and made sure that it was right, and because they're, they use some random symbols, and some of them are right, some of them are wrong,
Mhm.
and some of them are just part of the story, and I made them completely accurate to the symbols on what they represent in elements, and then like kind of like frameworked it
Mhm.
around like the story of alchemy and the history of it. But yeah, that's one of my absolute favorites. And then the list just goes on from there. Like I have so many other ones that I absolutely love. Like Cowboy Bebop is my other
Mhm.
one of my other like top threes, I would say. I think Cowboy Bebop has, like, being a kid and watching Cowboy Bebop, like you have a sense of like what's real in the world, and like real struggles, and like watching Spike Spiegel go through his journey, whatnot, and then it's like you're not going to get that kind of like perspective as a kid with watching cartoons,
Mhm.
because like I said, like the cartoons that we were watching didn't have that kind of either death or like dilemmas or whatnot. And yeah, and I mean, even during the time, like during that time of Cowboy Bebop, you had like that kind of like violence, that kind of situations of like bounty hunters, and like love and complications between that. They even had someone who was, trans.
Mhm.
And I don't think a lot of people like actually realize that they put in so many different societal tropes in Cowboy Bebop, and people just didn't get it at the time. And I think rewatching it, I think if anybody rewatched it and related it to like how people's perspectives are in the world, I think they'll understand it a little bit more, and it's just fantastic from there. Um, Other than that, like, we can just keep going down the list of like, I don't know, there's like
Go for
Tokyo
it.
Ghoul. What else can we do? Like One Piece. I absolutely love One Piece. I did watch uh I think about a little over 800 episodes
Oh
within a
my
month.
gosh.
So it was one of those like I was on a binging phase. Like I had to binge something. And then
What?
it was between One Piece or Naruto. And here's the thing. I didn't watch Naruto for like the longest time because I thought it was too overhyped, and
Understandable.
I didn't like I didn't like the diehard fans, like the group of diehard fans who were Naruto fans. Like, I think they were just a little,
A bit much.
yeah, they were like a little bit much. But then I realized that they're JoJo fans, and those fans are way much more. Anyways, so
True.
no offense to anyone who loves JoJo, I'm just saying. Um,
No, 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 you have a point.
but yeah, I wanted to binge One Piece, and then I was like, all right, I'm dedicated to this. So I started, and I watched it like every day, multiple episodes, kept it running, kept it in the background, kept it going, and got through over 800 episodes in 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks, under a month.
What?
And then I caught up, and I'm still caught up in One Piece. And I did the same with Naruto. Naruto, and then Shippuden, and then Burrito. Yes, I'm gonna call him Burrito. Uh, I Yeah, I did that in about the same amount of time, considering the fact that like they're really long. Um, but
Oh
yeah, I
dear.
appreciated One Piece. I know One Piece is not for everybody because of the style of it, but I mean, I don't think people realize that, longest running anime, you know, in history, and still going, you know. So,
I'm
um,
actually curious. Do you have an idea or prediction when One Piece will end, or do you think it's just gonna go on forever?
let's see here. With the current arc, um,
because of the recently over the years, you noticed how all the long running shonen animes and
Mm,
mangas, they've all ended.
yeah,
Came to
except
an
for
end.
Naruto.
Yeah. Oh wait, I thought Naruto came. Oh wait, the spin-off, right? Right.
I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. Like I don't know if it's public knowledge by now. Sorry anybody who doesn't know this, but like even in Naruto, like Naruto, they already announced his death.
Wait, what?
um, I mean,
Wait, what? Huh?
it's it's public knowledge now. It's not even spoilers.
Wait, what? I didn't know this. Hello?
In the manga, they
Hello?
already announced it, and they like showed how it happened. Anyways, but you know it happens. But going back to One Piece, with One Piece, I think we still have a couple more years because with the story is still like we're not even close to like the end of like getting to the One Piece. You know, like Luffy has not even he's close to reaching One Piece, but like it's kind of there, you know.
Someone in chat just said is reacting to what you said about Boruto.
You know what, Rue, calm down, okay, Rue. We'll discuss this later, Rue.
Did you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender when you were a kid?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness! Thank goodness.
She don't claim her, Courtney. I agree with you, Courtney. But yeah, I think that's one of the ones that like I was happy that Nickelodeon picked it up, and I was happy that people got to watch it because it. I think Avatar is important.
Yeah.
I don't like. Here's another thing. I don't think people realize this, but like Avatar tackles like social problems.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Oh my gosh, I was supposed to talk about that.
Yeah, with like different things from like segregation to racism.
Yeah,
and it just goes really deep into all that, and that's something that people missed out on.
Yeah,
and I think if like it holds up, so you can still watch it now and still love it because it's still good. But like
timeless
classic. Yeah.
We don't talk about the movie.
No.
No.
That never happened.
Yep. There was no movie in Bossing City.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan. He needs to be stopped.
And I really liked how basically remember when Aang infiltrated that Fire Nation school, and the teacher was telling the about like they were learning about the history, but then Aang said, "Oh, that's not actually how I remembered it. Like I think it was the air nomads didn't have a proper military." And then the teacher's like, "How do you know this? You can't have been there 100 years ago." But he was, haha.
Right.
Can't say that though.
Right.
But it shows that depending on like history was always recorded by at least one, like someone, right? It wasn't just like, and it's always in a different point of view. If you think about it, because this is what I learned in social studies. If you go to Japan and look at the textbooks about World War II, they say, "Oh, we saved Korea." But if you look at the Korean textbooks, they say Japan did a bunch of horrendous things. You see, it's dependent on who records the histories.
Of course. And
I really like how they covered that.
Yeah, and that I think that really hits home because like realizing what history books you have read in general in school, and then looking at all of it now with all the changes that are now, like when I was in like grade school or like second grade or third grade, we learned about like Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
And everyone at that time saw him as a hero, and then now we got rid of the day, because it's one of those, and I'm pretty sure they tweaked the history books after that because he pillage. He was a womanizer, and and a murderer in general. So I think that's very important too. Their history books are it's very one-sided.
Yeah.
One-sided, pretty much. But yeah.
And I liked how they showed Bossing say kind of like how about China and how China actually is trying to erase all the bad things they've done, like the whole Tiananmen Square incident, and how they try to, I guess, hide information from the public. But and it's actually quite similar, because if in China, you know how everything's blocked. If you look up Tiananmen Square, they'll just give you tourist sites and stuff like that. But if you look it up here, you'll see it'll talk about the massacre that happened. You'll see nothing like that in websites in China, because they want to erase that.
Yeah, and I think that's that it's so bad. Yeah. It really is. Like, as a nation, I know you kind of want to erase past like that, but like there's only so much you can do. You have to just accept it and then grow and do better. Yeah, you just have to do better. Like at a time, as hard as it was for a lot of people to believe, but in Germany, there was a very large amount of people that denied the Holocaust. That were German. They denied it, and they said it wasn't like that. It never happened like that, and they just don't believe in it.
I didn't know that happened in German too. I mean, Germany.
So now though, like Germany as a nation, like they didn't try to cover it up. There was just a vast amount of people who did want to, but they moved forward and they tried to improve. And it goes for a lot of other different countries as well. They try to hide what they've done. Like, we could talk about America all day with conspiracy theories and whatnot, and how there's a bunch of government cover-ups and whatever. And
freaking
that'll go on for days.
Canada's trying to do that too, apparently, with our First Nations. And I know this is gonna sound crazy, but our provincial government is trying to take out dinosaurs out of the curriculum, and I don't understand.
Jeez.
Yeah, if you want to know more, but I'm pretty sure Haley even talked about this briefly too.
No, tell me. I'm actually really curious.
So
how are they going about this?
So basically the government's like, oh, we're going to release this new curriculum. And basically he's trying to take dinosaurs out of it and the education about our aboriginals. And oh my gosh, this is even worse. I don't know if it's worse, but basically it's just as bad, I guess. Basically for the band students, for jazz band, he put his own grandfather as one of the artists you have to study for jazz. And
wait, what?
Yeah. I know, it's bad.
Oh man.
It's basically cultural appropriation at this point.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah.
What would we do without dinosaurs? Come on, Jurassic Park was one of the best things ever.
You know what's even funnier? We have a place called Drumheller, and that's a dinosaur paradise. That is our tourist hotspot where people just go for dinosaur museums and gift shops and all that stuff. And we have two dinosaurs that are named after this province. Jen can confirm too. She is a teacher, so she knows the curriculum, and the curriculum is it's bad. It's bad.
Like us versus them kind of feel. Oh man, yeah, that does sound really bad. Why? Why is this happening?
I don't know.
What?
I feel like he's trying to make us stupid or something, but I don't think it's gonna work.
I mean, to be honest, that is one of the number one tactics of any tyrant government, is to try to make everyone a little bit more stupid, as in tweaking all history books, not allowing outside, education and information to be brought into, the country, and keeping people away from the truth. It is definitely a tactic. And yeah, you know. That's really unfortunate though, like that. Yeah. I mean, America has done, like, they've tried to do quite a few things like that, not to that extreme. I mean,
Didn't they try to take out was it To Kill a Mockingbird out of the curriculum just to
oh, there's a lot of books too.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of books. And what else? Like, I remember at one point in time there was a discussion of whether evolution should be discussed in school, and that was a huge topic. Because I remember when I was like a kid, and like, I don't know, like this was in grade school too. We had to say the allegiance, and I don't know if a lot of people remember the Pledge of Allegiance at all. That's from America, but it was like, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, something. But at that point, they're also mixing church and state. And, it's, with that one line of being like, under God, they had to change it. So they changed it at one point in time. And then they realized that a lot of things in that pledge weren't really right. And then when I got into like middle school, they took it completely out, because we had to say it in like every school. You had to say it at the beginning of class. Like, everyone did the Pledge of Allegiance every day.
Oh my god.
And they finally took it out, but it was one of those like realizations of them really trying to push, like religion into our educational systems. And a lot of people just weren't having it. So it's gone now. And then the topic of whether we should have evolution and, the topic of evolution in our curriculum, that a lot of people still don't want that, which I think is kind of stupid. I think no matter what, you should learn both sides, no matter what. And yeah, I just think people are just scared of others knowing the truth in the world.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, though.
But
yeah.
I think also just like oh wait, where was I going with this? Never mind, I forgot what I was gonna say. I was wondering about like your opinion on have you heard the trolley problem?
Yes, I have. You want to go ahead and ask me the question?
Yeah, so which track would you pick? The one with 5 people or the one with the 1 person?
And who would I kill and who would I save?
Yeah.
Okay. So so knowing that there's no solution to this problem, for me, it is dependent on the situation. And here's how I'll explain it, okay? So it is not specified who the 5 people are and who the 1 person is.
I think they said like some problems, they say that they're like workers on the track.
So if there's workers, it depends. It's hard to put value on people's lives, okay? So it goes with the same problem of like, all right, let's say that you had 2 kids and it was a boy and a girl, and they were hanging off of a cliff. Which one would you save if you could only save 1? And the trolley problem for me, it would be if I saw that the 1 person could make a huge difference in this situation, then I would save them. If the 5 people can make a huge difference in the situation, I would save them instead. But generally, it would be the 5/1. So I would have to let the 1 die for 5 people. And that's the most common answer because we think that the majority of people, would make a better difference. But to me, also, it's like, all right, what if that one person could make a huge difference for everybody in the future? And that would be the situation where I'm like, all right, I'll save that one person, you know? Other than that, just let them all die. I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Because, that's, I mean, just let it go randomly. Natural selection, I guess. No, I'm kidding.
Survival of the
fittest. But, it's a really hard question.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, how important are those people? And it makes you realize that, like, all right, what kind of person are you? Are you the type of person who only values the people around you? Or are you the type of person who values everyone? And it's impossible to value everyone equally. It really is impossible. But the type of person that I am is, I am a mixture of both. I do put more value on the people that I know and my friends and my family. And of course, if the situation was changed and you explained it like, all right, let's say the one person is your mother.
Oh, I was gonna go there actually.
Yeah, the one person is your mother. The other people are workers that you never met.
Oh, well.
So
I wanted to make it even harder. Let's say those 5 people are your 5 closest friends.
Yeah. And here's the thing, okay? If that were the situation, if like the 5 closest friends, you would say like, all right, either side, knowing my friends and knowing my mother, they would want to save the other side. So like my friends would be like, no, choose your mother. My mother would be like, no, choose your friends. Now, if I were to be like, this is the hardest thing because my mother is the most important person to me in this entire world. And as much as I would want to save her, the thing is like there's more of a future with younger people. And I would save the 5 over my mother, not as a disrespect to her, but I know that she would probably want the same.
Oh, I see.
Because there's only so much that she can do, and she only has, X plus years, whereas the other 5 of my friends have way longer and more opportunity to build a future. So I think that would be my choice, and that would probably be how I would take it, as hard as it would be. Because, at the end of the day, like, everyone's gonna die. So if you think about it logically, like, all right, who's gonna make a bigger difference in your life? And my mom has made a huge difference, but at the same time, it's like, you don't want, when you get older, you don't want to rely on your parents.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to be your own individual self, and you kind of want to turn around and like take care of them instead. And part of that is building your own future and the people around you. And I think that, after talking to my mom about like a lot of different situations and whatnot, it was always like an agreement that if the choices that I make in life go towards me having a better future, and once I am at the point of a better future and successful, then my mom has always said like her job is done. If she sees that I'm happy and I've made it, and and I'm living life the way that I want to, then she'll see it as, you know what, my job is done. You can take care of me afterwards and live your life. And so that's one of those, like, like, I appreciate that and I love that, out of her, and you know, that would probably be the reason why she would be like, yeah, just pick them, you know, it would be better that way. So yeah.
So if I change this up, let's say the one person was the love of your life, and the 5 other people are your friends. Who would you save then?
My 5 friends.
Fair.
Okay, I'll explain that too. Okay, so all right, so this is a hard part because it's like the love of my life, where I'm at in my life at the moment. It's like the next person that, because you know, I just had my birthday and I'm old as hell, so like,
Happy birthday!
thank you, thank you. So you have to consider, at this age, you have to consider like, all right, the next person that you meet, you kind of don't want to waste time, because not only is your clock ticking, but for a woman, you know, their clock is ticking much faster. And so it's like they would want, like, some would want to start a family, or some would want to settle down quicker because of their age and being around the age that I am. It's something that you have to really think about. So like, I've always thought about like, all right, the next person that I would meet, whatnot, and like love would probably be my wife. And here's the thing. The reason, it's not to say that I would pick my friends over any girl that I'm with. It's the fact that like, it's the same as, it's the same as the whole mom and friend situation. Is if the woman in my life really understood me, then she would know that like, probably the right answer is probably the friends, you know? But if we put it differently, so my closest friends would probably want me to be with her and then strive for a better future, grow a family, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And that's the hard part, but I would probably choose my friends, and yeah, be sad that I lost the love of my life.
Oh my gosh.
Because also for me, I would also rather see other people succeed and other people happy. And if I can help them do that, that would be amazing. So I want to help boost up my friends, help, you know, them live a happier life. And if I could do that by saving them and they grow families, we're all a family, you know? And yeah, I would be losing my own future of a family, but yeah, I mean, there's other opportunities out there too. You know, it's not to say that you won't make friends or you won't find another lover afterwards, you know. So I think that in that situation, it'd probably be like, I would make that situation at the moment, not beforehand. It would kind of be like, you know, I would just sit there and be like, hey, so what's my favorite number? If you get this wrong, you guys all die.
Oh my gosh!
No, but it would be at the moment, because it would be like, what's the situation? What's going on? Where are we at? Like, what else is going around? You know, and you know, what point in my life that I'm at when this happens.
So the reason why I bring this up is a lot of people are like, well, where am I gonna find this situation? Well, here's the thing. Self-driving cars are in the near future. And they're saying that, let's say there's an accident up ahead, and you know how the passenger is first priority, right?
Right.
But you can't swerve like safely without hurting anyone because you got 2 cars on each side of you. And you know how when at the moment you instinctually swerve, like it doesn't matter who it was, you just go by instinct, correct? But like if it's a self-driving car, it has to be premeditated. Here's the thing. So it's just like, and it continues on saying like, oh, like let's say it's two motorcyclists, right? One with a helmet, one without. Who would you pick then? Because here's the thing: if you pick one with a helmet, they have a higher chance of surviving. However, even if you do pick them, like you're also aren't you also punishing them for following the law though?
You can look at it that way, but in a sense, it's like, all right, so, like, would you save the person without a helmet as well? Because if you save the person without a helmet, the person with the helmet might have a better chance of surviving the crash afterwards. Just granted to say. But, like, it's... Okay, so I'll put it a little easier here. So in the future, when we have, you know, our AIs and, you know, robots everywhere, whatever, if we get to that point, and once we do,
I feel like Japan is getting closer to that point though.
Oh yeah, it's already there. So the way that the system will kind of work is that these automated and self-driving, or, you know, robots or whatnot in the future, and a lot of movies have touched on this before, and it's very true. It's very, very thought out. Robots and AIs, they would only be programmed to think logically. They think on a spectrum of who's more important in the society. So they would save that person instead, no matter if it was like a little kid and, like, let's say an adult that was like very important in society. Like they would save the adult, you know. And that's one of the things that, like, is a harsh reality, is like when you're talking about, like, you know, self-driving cars or whatnot, it's like, what would the self-driving car pick? What would it do? And it would only do what is logical. And that's the difference between humans and, you know, any kind of AI or any kind of other system, is that we throw out anything logical for emotions. And if we were to think of every situation in a very logical, like, mindset, then a lot of people would hate us. Society would be better, but it would be very cruel.
Yes.
Because it would be like, all right, if you're in your mid-20s and you don't have a job and you don't have a future, we should probably get rid of you.
Why are you describing me, Teal?
No, it's just one of those. Like, the logical sense is like, all right, if you're not doing anything for society or not helping anything advance, then they're not going to look at you as anything important.
Oh gosh, I feel called out.
No, that goes for a lot of people. Like, even for me, like, being laid off of a job and whatnot, and what I'm contributing to society, like, I would probably get rid of too. And I think it's very interesting because, like, what do you value in life? It would be like the number one question. Is like, what is your moral stance? What do you value? And whether you put logic over, you know, reason or feelings, you know, like, so for me, I'm a very, like, emotion-based person. I've always known this. It is a double-edged sword, and it comes with a lot of good things, like being a good person, trying to help people when I can, and trying to, you know, just make people happy. The bad part is, you know, you get taken advantage of. No one is going to respect you because they're going to look at you as someone they're going to, you know, someone to step all over. You're way too agreeable, which can be good, but also really bad. And basically, you would be way too open-minded to in society and they would probably cast you out because you're way too open-minded. And so you'll never be a very important person to a mass amount of people. And granted, there's a lot of people who are very kind-hearted, who have done a lot of good in the world from being very, very nice and generous and, caring for others. But they had to go through extreme lengths for everyone to notice. Whereas if you look at how different societies are built, it's built off of who you're going to follow, who's going to be the leader, and whether you take up the leader's like morals and beliefs or not. And you can look at that as like prime minister, the president, kings, queens, whatnot, like, and that's something that like true that it's not based off of emotions. It's based off of like this logical sense of, all right, we don't need multiple leaders. We need one leader to lead us to a very happy, successful future, whatnot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess that's basically that. So, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that just like weaned off the topic like horribly.
No. Another question is, who do you look up to the most?
So, I mentioned it before, but it would be my mother. My mother raised, 2 kids by herself, and to kind of put it in perspective, she basically immigrated here. She ran away from home. So she ran away from Thailand, dropped out of high school, and like ran away to the States to find my grandmother, her mom. And what happened there was that like, so my mother and her mom never really got along. Like my grandmother didn't want to have anything to do with my mother. And she left Thailand after the divorce with my grandfather that's in Thailand. And then my mom wanted to go and find her. And so she ran away and she went to the States, did not know any English, struggled, and luckily, she made contact with some friends and some family. And that goes into like a deeper topic of how tragic her meeting was with my grandmother. They're good now, but back then it was very bad. But then she built a future here. She met my dad. My mother and father got divorced when I was about 4 years old, and my mother took custody, and she worked her 2 to 3 jobs. And that's why I say I grew up in my aunt's bar, because after her morning or afternoon job, she would take us to the bar where she could watch us so she can work, and we would be around her, because there wasn't any other choice. It was like, you're leaving 2 kids overnight at home by themselves all day. Not the best thing in the world. So she struggled a lot to give me what I have now. And I think that really tips the scale on like how important she is in my life. So I've always appreciated her for doing that. And then I basically, like, for the longest time, even now, like a lot of the stuff that I do in my life to try to be successful and to try to live a good life is for her. And then I always made the promise to my mother that once I'm famous, or once I'm like successful and rich, that like I would like try to pay her back as much as I could. And like take care of her, put her in a house, you know, get her everything she needs, and you know, that's how it always was. But I really admired her for, you know, having that kind of drive to, you know, take care of 2 kids and being in a country where you didn't know the language at all, and try to build a future from there. So yeah, she's a person I look up to.
Do you have a favorite Asian in the media you look up to, or just like in
Yeah,
general?
there's quite a few. There is the formerly known as Tim De La Ghetto. He's a comedian, actor, whatnot. He's been on a while now. He's been in a couple movies. He's also Thai. And then there's David So.
David So comedy.
Which is, also a comedian. But, and then other ones would be like Jackie Chan. And Bruce Lee is another one. And I could put Anna Akana on there too. Just for you. But the reason I look up to these people is because they are not scared of saying what is true.
Yeah, definitely.
And even for people like Jackie Chan, what people don't understand is that he is such an intelligent man. Like, he is very, very intelligent.
Yeah.
He knows like over 5 languages. He can speak them all fluently, and he understands the world. Like, he understands like what's going on. He understands his politics. He understands what's going on in society, and he's always willing to help. In terms of like Tim and David, like, they've also, you know, throughout the Black Lives Matter movement or the BLM and the Stop Asian Hate, they've already discussed a lot about it and put out a lot of truths and try to make a change. And they are very influential when it comes down to that. And regardless of whether, you know, they're comedians or whatnot, they really have this responsibility as an influencer to say these things, and they're not afraid to say it, which is great.
Yeah.
And I think that we need more people like that, because like there's not enough people talking about it, or like not really like talking about it, but standing up for it.
Yeah.
Like, we're all coming together, yes, and it is everywhere, yes, but the other thing is not being afraid to speak your mind.
Yeah.
As an Asian. So like, even though you have these influencers, you know, they have already said a bunch of stuff, like, as an Asian, you do have the responsibility to know that like you need to spread the word too, or you need to like help, you know, in this situation, because this is our future as well.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
being a person of color in this kind of society nowadays, like, we're on the movement of trying to eliminate racism and this kind of white supremacy.
Yeah. And
I don't think we should be afraid to stand up for ourselves and say it. Yeah. So these people are doing a wonderful job at doing that, while, you know, spreading happiness and joy, and, you know, them being comedians or actors or whatnot. They have basically brought a lot to us that we can use and that we can stand by, and knowing that we have these amazing people on our side, you know, it's a win. It's a win-win, you know. I just love that, you know, when you have a topic like this, like, it's always great to have like big influencers, like, not only just agree, but feel what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And to know that they're a regular person just like you, and that you can make a difference too if you just spoke up, or if you just stand up for yourself. And yeah, I think it's really important to know a lot of these people, and it's also important to help people that aren't Asian to understand our side and to understand what's going on as well. And basically what people need to understand is that with this Stop Asian Hate, it's not trampling over the BLM.
Yeah.
It's not. We have common goals here.
Yes, definitely.
We want to end racism. We want to end this white supremacy. We want to, help educate everyone on what the people of color have been going through. And we kind of want our freedom, and it's very unfortunate with everything that's going on.
Definitely.
But it's definitely not about like what movements you're with, or like what movement is more important or whatever. It's like we're here to end racism.
Yes.
That's what we're here to do. And I think standing united as people of color and constantly educating yourself is a great way of trying to tackle that situation. So yeah.
If you're comfortable to share, have you personally experienced racism?
Many times. Okay. So, I'm comfortable to share. I don't really care. So, like I've said, when I talked about grade school and how many like Asians were there, like the 3% to 5% Asian. I grew up in predominantly Black, Mexican, and white schools. Like some gangs and everything there, here and there too. There wasn't very many Asians. So when you have a situation like that, people tend to be more racist because there's not a large group of you. So I've gotten a lot of things. Like I have an underbite, and it's very common within a lot of like Thai people and quite a few Asians to have an underbite. I've been made fun of for that. I also had like, the cute little bowl cut or whatnot when I was a kid. And since my bowl cut was a little long at the time too, it was like being made fun of for your hairstyle. And, people would ask like, are you a boy or a girl because you have a bowl cut that's a little longer. And this isn't like grade school. This is like kids, telling you all this.
No.
And they made fun of. And then like, and when, they would try to pick fights with you, they'd be like, oh, so you're going to use like Kung Fu or something? Like it's stuff like that.
That's stereotype, yeah.
Yeah. So like, it was rough for a while in school, but the good part about later on was the fact that I was surrounded by a lot of minorities and a lot of people of color. And when that happened, yes, there would be some stereotyping, some racism, but it was brought to a minimum later on when I got into high school too, because then it was realized that like, all right, you're around the other minorities, so like, there's nothing to be afraid of. And I think what what brings you closer to being happy and to be more safe is to be like more accepting of your culture and who you are. So once you realize that, you know what, I am Asian, I am Thai, like that's who I am, and I'm proud of it. And once you realize that, like you kind of overcome all that, because like for me, the racism never, like it never really completely stopped, and it's never like we're trying to reach the point where, you know, we're ending it. But reality is like, yeah, racism is not going to be completely gone, but we're just trying to minimize it as much as possible. And growing up, that, you know, it did affect me. At a point, it's like you kind of took up other cultures and identities as a kid, because you're not around anybody else in your culture, and no one accepted you and your culture whatsoever. And yeah, being older, the easy solution would just be like, you know, just spread your culture, be proud of it, whatnot. But as a kid, you don't know any of that. You're not you're not taking that information and processing it the way that it is now. Like you're not going to do that. So as a kid, you're kind of like traumatized for being Asian,
Yeah.
for being what you are. And it's not just Asians now, or it's not just Asians, it's, you know, blacks, it's, you know, anyone who's Native American or Mexican, you know, it's like we're all targeted at one point in time in a state of racism. And it's hard because when you're a kid and you're going through it, it makes you ashamed of being what you are.
Yeah.
And it came to a point of like, all right, embrace yourself, embrace your culture, and work through it, and never stop believing. And that is kind of what I did. And later on, it like all this racism and all the stereotyping and everything kind of like falls by the wayside, and it kind of like just blows past you, and you don't like, you care about it, you care to make a change, but you don't care about, like, you don't let it affect you, you don't let it make you ashamed of being who you are. And I think that does come later in life, because the other thing too is like, if you're a parent, it's very important to talk about these things to your kid. And when I was a kid, it wasn't talked about, because being stereotypical and being, you know, kind of like towards the side of racism and whatnot, like if you don't talk to your kid, they're just going to be lost. They won't know who they are. And like, of course, with my mom working the 3 jobs, she didn't really know what was going on, so it was hard to talk about. But I think moving forward, I think it's very important to talk to children about racism. Definitely. And to really embrace who they are, because I wouldn't want them to go down the same path that I did. Because it's very rough. It was very rough, and you don't want anyone to feel the same way. And yeah, so like me growing up just meant that I was more educated on the topic. I could learn more about my culture. I could be more comfortable with myself and succeed in the future. And yeah, it was rough. It was rough, like growing up and having all these people be kind of racist or not kind of racist, just fully racist and stereotypical. Like, and here's another thing. I grew up in Colorado. So Denver, Colorado is where I was born and raised. And in Denver, in the middle of Denver, like near downtown. Downtown Denver was one of the first amnesty areas and states, and for minorities. So it's where like anyone who was a minority could come and work, where it was legal. And that made it a melting pot. So it's great. So I got to grow up with people of different cultures and different ethnicities and whatnot. But you go anywhere outside of Denver, whether you go any direction whatsoever and go outside of Denver, I've gotten looks from all these people like they've never seen an Asian in their life. Like I go to a restaurant, like if I go to like Golden or like not Boulder anymore. Boulder used to be like this, but Golden or any other place that's outside of Denver in Colorado, like it's predominantly white, and they'll look at you like they've never seen any of you, any of like your ethnicities like ever in their lives. And I've been stared at in like restaurants to just bars and whatever. It's very uncomfortable. Going there. But I think if I were to do that now, I'll probably just laugh. I think it would just be funny. But yeah, like it was just it was an interesting way to grow up, you know. And a lot of my Asian friends now, and I say now because when I was a kid, I didn't really have very many like Asian friends growing up at all, except for my family. And that's only because, you know, there wasn't really that many Asians around me when I was growing up. So it was a little difficult to embrace my own culture when you don't have other people in your culture around you very often. Yeah. So that didn't happen until later, which is unfortunate, but you know, I can definitely make up for it as much as I can now. But yeah, I think it's very important to kind of embrace yourself and to know that you're pretty much unique, you know? You have things to be proud of, you know, and there's so many things that are great about your culture, you know, especially Asian culture. Like I think Asian cultures are like probably like I just think it's completely beautiful the way that it's set up. Like, and even Buddhism is beautiful within itself. Like I'm agnostic, but like I've studied various religions, and I think Buddhism is the teachings in Buddhism and what is said, and you know how they carry out their beliefs. It's very beautiful. It's something that like even if you don't believe in Buddhism, even if you don't like you don't have a religion, like just listening to some of these words or teachings or whatnot, it's not to say like, you know, you follow anybody, but like the morals and the teachings behind the culture, the Asian culture, is always towards like peace and finding inner peace and, you know, being one with nature and being one with everybody. And if that's not a beautiful thing within itself, I don't know what is. You know, like there's a reason why like Asians and the Asian cultures and Asian countries are far more, you know, educated and more advanced than the States or anywhere else. It's because they have this belief system on, you know, education and, you know, bettering ourselves. And here's the other thing too, it's like, especially in like Japanese culture or whatnot, like everything that they do, no matter what they do, they could be like a cook or like they could still be making, you know, swords or work at a convenience store or whatnot, but if you ever hear them talk about their profession, they talk about it like it was destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is what they're made to do, so they're gonna put their all into it. And then if you hear them talk about their techniques on what they do with their job, they talk about it very spiritually. Like they talk about how like for instance, some of the cooks, like sushi cooks or whatnot, they talk about like even making sushi rice. It's, you know, it's the feeling, it's putting, you know, the energy into everything and learning it for like 10 years or 5 years before you could start making sushi type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where else has that? There's no other place that has that, you know, except for like Asia. It's because when you talk about people's passions and jobs out here, it's like based around like money, and it's based
Yeah.
around other things that are materialistic. But in Asian cultures, it's like very spiritual. Like, this is what we're meant to do, and we're gonna put our all into doing it, you know. And they're so nice, you know. Like they are nicer people, you know. And Thai people are not really talked about very often. The only thing that you ever hear about Thailand in general, or Thai people, is their food,
Uh,
or like Thailand being beautiful in general. But
mm-hmm.
you don't really hear anything else, you know. Um, and you know, it is part of my responsibility to try to spread our culture more. And there's a lot of things in Thai culture that I would love to spread around. And luckily, you know, since I moved to LA, there's a bigger bigger group of Thai people that I can be around or talk to or learn from and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Is there any favorite, I guess, traditions you have, or even just, I guess, festivals?
Ooh, our water festival,
Ooh.
also known as Thai New Year's. So here's the here's the difference. All right, Thai New Year's happens in April,
Oh.
and yeah. Now it's not really New Year's. I guess they simplified it to being said as Thai New Year's, but
Does it
what
follow a different calendar,
uh,
or?
kind
Because I
of
know most countries in Asia follow the lunar calendar, or I guess we
right.
follow the Gregorian calendar. Is that what it's called?
All right. Yeah, I think it's called that. And but here's the thing. It's not like our New Year's, I think, is a little bit later in April.
Mm-hmm.
Um but we celebrate this popular Thai New Year's, which should be known as a water festival because it is a water
Mm-hmm.
festival. And the reason they call it Thai New Year's, to simplify it, is because it's a cleansing festival. It's to cleanse you for the new year.
Ah.
That's why. Okay, here's the fun part about it. In Thailand, what they do is that they will have this kind of like, it's not really a parade, but it's where everyone like walks behind the monks going down the street as the monks, you know, bless everyone going down. And um, they circle around entire neighborhoods and whatnot. But also, here's the best part. So the monks, they'll spray water to cleanse everybody,
Mhm.
but the kids, so as a kid going to the temple, it is always tradition, even in Thailand, to have a huge water fight. So we specifically bought all our like water guns, like the big ones and whatnot, water balloons and everything, and it's a huge like water fight period, and it's one of the most fun things you could ever do. And it's just part of the festival because, you know, this water whatnot is supposed to help cleanse you for the new year, and it's one of my favorites. And luckily, you know, they do still celebrate it um in LA as well,
Oh.
in Little Thai Town. So it's really cool.
Why specifically April does it take place?
Because that's when the water festival is.
Oh,
it is in April because it's closer to the New Year, like the Thai New Year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just goes hand in hand with it, basically.
Do you celebrate with your family usually?
So that's a tough one. I do. Um, I used to celebrate it a lot with my family as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but like I said, like after my parents divorced, it was mostly me and my mother and my sister at a portion of time because,
Mm-hmm.
and I say portion because she disowned me and my mother at one point in time in our lives.
Oh.
Like literally disowned us, and you know, it anyways, but um me and my mother were practically the black sheep of the family, so we weren't really close to our other family members as much, and it took a very long time for us to actually be kind of close. When I got to LA, my LA extended family in LA are very nice, and we've gotten a little closer, and I've celebrated many a holidays with them, so I do. Um, and I mean, here's the other thing too, is like, even if you don't believe in some of your like religions or cultures or whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
like it's really good to participate in them
Yeah, it is.
because you get like a better understanding of who you are and where you came from. And also, like, some of these celebrations are like, they're super fun, you know? Like, I don't, like, here's the thing, like, I think, like, Asian, like, holidays and festivals, it's just a bunch of fun. Like, I don't, there's nothing boring about it. It's so exciting and it's so much fun. There's so much you can do.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like I know like Chinese festivals or Korean or Japanese, like it's a huge thing. It's so huge, and it's all about, you know, like happiness and joy, and like it's just great. I don't know how anybody could really just put it down, to be honest.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely.
I think Water Festival is my favorite.
Okay. My next question is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Canada, so I can be with all you lovely people. No, actually, Canada was one of the places where I wanted to live. It still is. I think I could be anywhere in the world.
Like, money's not an issue.
I would probably be somewhere in Europe. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. I probably wouldn't live in Europe or in Asia, but like visiting or going there, it's kind of always like a dream. Only because like seeing the rest of the world is, you know, you're kind of like taken into like wonderment by different cultures. And
Yeah.
you know, I remember taking a trip, or like going back to visit Thailand, and I was even culture shocked because I've only been there twice in my life, and you know, it's so far apart, and once you go there, it's kind of just different. I imagine going anywhere else is going to be like the same type of culture shock for me, because it's not even a bad thing either. It's just like I'm just so bewildered by like everything that's going on, and kind of love it. So I think if I were to pick a place, I've always wanted to go to Paris. There's a couple places in Germany I really wanted to go as well. I really, really want to go to Japan. Really want to go to Japan. Like, absolutely. And you know what? That would be my pick. I would actually want to go to Japan. And that could just be a biased statement because I'm a weeb, but you know, one of the things I really want to do is go and do karaoke with the locals in Japan. That sounds like fun. But I really do like places that keep their historical culture intact. And I think Japan really has that too. And Paris has that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Japan would be it. Yeah. Other than Japan, it would be Canada. Like I said, to see all of you guys. Because for some reason, I have so many Canadian friends.
It's really nice of you, Teal.
I'm just saying, it's the truth. I was already planning on doing that because when I was moving out of Colorado and when I was picking a different place to live, I was like, it's either going to be LA, New York, or Canada. And when I got out to LA, I was like, you know what? I still am thinking about living and experiencing things in Canada. And I could design out there and I wouldn't mind. I'll get my 4 seasons back because LA only has 2 types of weather, hot and warm.
Agreed.
And I hate that. As much as people are all like, well, do you really want to deal with the snow and all this other stuff again? I mean, yes, dealing with the snow is really, it's very tiresome. Like, I grew up in Colorado. I know about the snow. Like, I do. But, like, I miss having the seasons. Like, out here, you don't realize, like, you don't realize what holidays are coming up. Because you know how, like, okay, you can, like, feel when Halloween is coming because it's the fall. Or you can feel when Christmas is coming because like maybe you're getting snow or it's like colder. No, in LA, like I remember when I first moved out here, I went to like a party with some of my friends and like they were talking and it was November and they were talking about what their plans for Christmas was. And we were out like in the backyard, they were having, you know, we were just partying and whatever, and it was really warm. And they were like, oh, for Christmas, I think we're just gonna have like a barbecue. If you guys want to come through, like we're just gonna have a barbecue in the back. Who does that for Christmas? What the hell? You only do that when it's hot weather and warm weather. That is not how it's supposed to be. Anyways, so like, and I knew that I missed my 4 seasons in general. Like I miss cold weather. I miss the snow. I miss like having like fall weather, autumn weather, where there's like crisp air, where the air hurts your face.
Oh gosh.
Like I miss it. And a lot of people think I'm crazy for it, but like, you know, when you grew up with that, like, yeah, of course, I don't want to be shoveling snow or cleaning off my car, or warming up my car every single morning. That sucked more than anything. But in terms of like that feeling, like I miss it. Like the other thing that I miss too is like, you know how like it could be like a weekend or whatnot, and it's like maybe towards like the fall, and it's like kind of chilly in the morning, and you could just go out and you could just hang out on like your couch or whatnot, pull up a blanket, you know, drink some like coffee or some hot tea and like just hang out. Or like if it's raining, you do that.
Yeah.
Now in LA, it's not like that. I don't own a coat in LA. I only own 1 coat in LA. And it's a very light jacket. And the only reason that I have that jacket is for okay, never mind. I shouldn't say.
Huh?
Fine. I keep it in case anyone needs it. I used to keep it for like if I go on dates and whatnot. Anyways, so but it was never really for me because I never really get cold out here ever. So you don't get that feeling, and you don't get that like nice little like if it's like raining and like really pouring down. Like it rains like rarely out here, but like it like if it's like a lot of rain, you just want to sit inside and just relax and, watch a movie or something, and it's kind of relaxing. Maybe even spark a fireplace. LA, California, having fireplaces, no reason. No reason. So, yeah, that is a huge factor of where I would want to live is the weather and having weather. And I know that like a lot of people are like, well, get me out of the cold, get me somewhere where it's like warm or hot. But I miss it. I really do. And Canada has all of it, especially snow.
Where in Canada would you like to go specifically?
I was gonna go to Toronto.
Ah.
I was gonna go to Montreal, but I heard that if I don't speak Canadian French, they're just gonna hate me.
I think that's just mainly Quebec in general.
Probably.
They're also way more racist from what I hear.
Yeah. Yeah. But I definitely wanted to go to Toronto. The other thing too is that I'm a big city kid at heart. So I see where a city is. Like it's not that I feel uncomfortable being away in countryside and whatnot, or like suburban or whatnot. It's for me. I just love fast-paced city stuff. So
Understand.
Yeah, that's why I'm in LA.
Where
would you want to live?
Me?
Or where would you want to go?
Honestly, I'm all for the cottagecore vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
you just want to be far away from everything.
Yes, honestly, my whole if this was a thing, I honestly wish I could just live in a castle in the sky.
Oh, if only one day.
At this point, why don't I just buy a blimp and just live in a blimp?
Blimps are dangerous.
They are? I haven't been in one, but again, I don't think I could drive one either. I don't even have a driver's license.
Oh, jeez. It's okay. I don't think you need a driver's license for a blimp. Fine.
Why? Are you saying that is it a fire hazard or something?
I mean, I don't think they're made the same anymore, but there was always like a huge reason why like you don't see people traveling or doing things through blimps anymore. It's because the helium and explosions. And it is a fire hazard. But I don't think they're made the same anymore. But that's why like the blimps that you see now, there's no one really in it. It's all controlled, like a drone type of thing. Because it's more safe that way.
Right.
And there's other reasons why you don't really see blimps anymore. I mean, you could live in a hot air balloon.
I feel like
you do that.
Isn't that more dangerous because it's an open fire source?
No, it's less dangerous than being in a blimp.
Okay, that's true.
But if you run out of gas, you're kind of effed. But it's fine. Bring a parachute, you'll be okay.
Honestly,
or
if this was a thing, I honestly wish I could live in a flying boat.
I mean, put balloons on it. Do like Up. Grab a boat, like a canoe or something. Make it very small. Got a bunch of balloons.
When I'm talking about boat, I meant like a giant Galilee.
Okay, alright, well, you're gonna need way more balloons for
that. Oh my gosh, I don't think I could use balloons to even make it fly. I'd have to have like a rocket jet or something in it.
Okay, maybe that's where our hot air balloons, you need like about 20 of them to lift up this boat. This ship of yours. One day we'll have a flying ship.
I don't know, man. Honestly, not gonna lie, I thought about like being like, hey, Michael Reeves want to build a flying ship together because he's into robotics and stuff.
Do it. Flying ships would be amazing.
I don't know if Michael Reeves would would even like consider it.
He probably wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
if it was on a smaller scale, he would probably do it. But just be like, all right, you're making a flying ship that is very small sized, and it's a test run, and you're gonna just put Timmy on it.
That's so sweet. I was thinking the same thing. Put Timmy on it.
So if you put Timmy on it, then you'll be fine. It would be hilarious, and it would be cute. But then, yeah. I think he would be down to do that. That's something that you could probably tell.
But it's like, how do I even get in touch with them? Lol.
Easy, just reach out, Yeah. Go on Twitter, You probably have to add that maybe there's a taser on it too, and then he'll definitely be down. Because if you don't put anything dangerous on it, he probably won't do it. So.
Isn't it already dangerous enough as is?
Yeah, but he kind of raises the stakes a little bit. So yeah, it's kind of what he does. I think you have a better chance with Toast than you have with him.
Wait, Toast?
If you don't make it as dangerous. Because Toast likes building stuff like that.
Really? Oh my gosh.
He helped him with he's the one who asked him for help with I think it was the dog. The robotic dog.
Oh my gosh, the robot dog that pees beer too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Toast is the one who got that shipped into him, and he had him help him with that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of surprising how many Canadians are part of offline TV, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
So, Pokimane, Disguised Toast, and Yavani are all Canadian.
Really?
Yeah!
Wow.
Yavani is actually from my province, and I found out about this. I was like, oh my gosh, there's someone from my province of all places, part of OTV, because like, I live in like the middle of nowhere.
Right.
I feel like our province is the middle of nowhere. Even Haley agrees.
Like, yeah, that is pretty crazy. It's a very small world.
Mm-hmm.
Very small world.
How did you get to know Haley? Because I actually knew you through Haley.
Yikers. Okay.
Oh no, is this a question?
This is a topic. This is definitely a topic. So, all right. The way that I met Haley was through a Sleepy Peach.
Oh.
I was very, very close and deep in that community. And I was one of those who saw Peach as a very good friend. And we talked a lot. So here's where it came from. It all started off with Sincerely Lynn. And Lynn was my gateway towards a lot of other streamers.
Mm-hmm.
Like Obrook and Sleepy Peach, Strawberry, Tove,
Mm-hmm.
and many, many others. So from there, when I met Peach, I then met Nat. I met Nat,
Mm-hmm.
Melon Girl,
Mm-hmm.
and then I met Haley as well, and Tove. And I was more closer to Tove than Haley
Mm-hmm.
at the time. And so I made friends with Haley, and we were like acquaintance friends and whatnot. It wasn't until after the second round of full accusations or stuff and evidence on Peach, and when I left the community, that I got closer to Haley. After all that happened, and after I left that community, and after all that, I contacted Haley, and because I knew that she was going through a lot too, because she was close to Peach as well.
Yeah.
So I talked to her and basically was like, I kind of needed someone to talk to about it too, because it was a lot that we were all going through at the time. And so it's basically how Haley and I became much closer and like better friends. And then after that, we became really, 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 really good friends after that. And then we started hanging out and then playing games, and yeah, the rest is history. But yeah, I mean,
oh, I'm so sorry for putting you on the spot like that.
No. It's fine. I don't mind talking about it. It's completely fine. I just won't go into details about like Peach or whatnot.
You don't
like,
have to.
Yeah. For safety and integrity on your stream. But but basically that's how we met. And
what about Emmy though?
I met Emmy through Haley.
Oh.
It's being in Haley's community, I guess, like, because I've never played MapleStory. I've never done any of that, and like Emmy knew Haley from all that, and then once Emmy started coming around more often, that's when I met her and then hung out and played games. And yeah, that's how I met Emmy.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I interrupted you before. Oh, what were you gonna say after I said Emmy?
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
And if you had to eat only one type of food for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
One type of food? Like I'm picking a cuisine?
Sure, I guess. Or just like one.
Or I'm picking like one item.
I think would make it harder.
Oh, jeez. One of two things. So I love sushi. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I could eat it every day. Like, I don't know. I just love it. Sorry to all the fishes out there, but I do love sushi.
Understandable.
The other one is it's a coconut Thai curry. It's a coconut curry.
I love Thai curries.
Yeah, and it's one that I grew up with that my mom always made. And
Teal, you cut out a bit.
Anywhere, and it's one of the dishes that like makes you so nostalgic and feel at home, and that would be it for me. Like, I love that dish. Like, the coconut curry is like one of my absolute favorite things in this world, just because of like it tastes so good, but also like it takes me back. And yeah, it would be that.
I'm sorry to say this, but you cut out a bit, but
Did I cut out?
A little bit, and also your camera turned off.
My camera turned off? Lame. That's not on my side, that's on your side.
No, it is my side. I don't know what happened with my Discord. It kind of like briefly disconnected a bit. So that is totally my fault. I am so sorry, Teal.
No worries, no worries. I put my camera back on. I don't know if you can get it back on there.
I don't know. It says video disabled, but it says I disabled it, but oh, okay, I fixed it.
You disabled my face?
No!
Why would you disable my face?
I did it on purpose, at least. It's okay. I fixed it. I think it's just my Wi-Fi's not exactly the strongest right now.
Anyways, but yeah, sushi or the Thai curry would be mine.
Fair, fair.
I do love food. I absolutely love food.
Are those two your favorite types of foods?
Like Thai and Japanese food and Thai food. You know, yeah, or like up there, and then after that it goes towards like Italian. I love pastas. I love it. Maybe I just love noodles. But yeah, pasta is amazing.
Mhm.
And then what else would it be? I do have a very, very soft spot for like American food and like barbecue, like Southern barbecue and like steak and whatnot. Sorry for all the vegans and vegetarians out there, but I do have a very soft spot for all that. Yeah. What would you pick?
For me, I would just pick sandwiches because you can have any kind of sandwich. It's
Would you call... Wait. Here's an important question. Would you call a hot dog a sandwich?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, honestly, like, here's the thing. Like, when I don't have hot dog buns, I honestly just use like a slice of bread and just like put the sausage in, like, and then like try to sandwich it, like try to make it look like a hot dog bun because and I call it the poor man's hot dog.
But that it's a real question. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Is it?
Also, does a straw have one hole or two holes in it?
Isn't it two?
Or is it one long hole?
Well, like, I feel like isn't it two? Because you could close one hole.
But I'm just saying. Anyways.
But yeah.
Sandwich, huh? What's your favorite sandwich?
That's a good question. I know it's kind of basic, but I like to get it's called the pizza sub at Subway.
Is that one with like the marinara and like
no, that's the
pepperoni
meatball sub.
And whatnot?
The meatball
but it has
sub.
pepperoni on it, right?
Yeah, it has pepperoni on it.
Is it just cheese, pepperoni, and like...
Yeah, but I also add stuff
marinara?
onto it. Like pickles and lettuce and a bunch of other sauce. I'm a very saucy person.
You know what I've been craving? I've been craving like a really good banh mi sandwich.
Oh my gosh, I love banh mi's. I hear that there's a place in Vegas that you can get one for like $1.50 and it's like a foot long.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I know what we're doing when we all go to Vegas one of these days.
And it shocked me because like banh mi's are expensive here. And, like it's not even a foot long,
really
and there's
are.
like it's like $8. I'm like, huh?
Wait, it's not even a foot long where you're at? You guys are getting ripped off.
We are. Oh, Jennifer says hi.
Oh, hi, Jen. Other Jen. Hi, BFF. The love of my life.
What?
But yeah, so, yeah. Sandwiches. Okay, next question. Do we have another question?
If you, let's see, which one's better? Flying or breathing underwater?
Flying.
Any particular reason?
Only because I feel as though breathing underwater, yeah, it would be amazing because, we have been, discovered over like 80-90% of underwater. So it'd be cool to discover that. But I feel like it would be so much work because then you would have to bring lights that work deep down like there, and then you have to like see everything, and then there's a bunch of things that can kill you.
Like the box jellyfish.
Yeah, it's not only just a box jellyfish. What if there's like remaining dinosaurs down there we don't even know about? Okay? It's true.
True, yes.
But then if you're flying, you can go anywhere you want. Anywhere. You can go anywhere in the world that you would want. And then, all you have to do is watch out for birds and planes and you're good. But I think flying would be pretty incredible, just to travel and see the world in a different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I could be Aladdin, and then I could sing the song. I can show you the world. I'm
Wouldn't
kidding.
you need a magical carpet?
I would bring a carpet. I don't think it would be magical though if I'm flying.
But
I would just kind of sit on it. I don't know. Like, yeah.
like, would you just have to glue it to your butt or something?
Something like that. But I think about it this way too, okay? If you could breathe underwater too, okay? You can't take anybody with you. But if you could fly, you could take them with you.
True.
So I can share this experience. I can show people the world.
But let's say this, but like, people are heavy, aren't they?
Not all people are heavy, okay? Goodness. Plus, I mean, my like hopeless romantic side comes out, and I'm just like, you know what would be a better date situation? It would be up in the air rather than underwater.
Fair.
So
yeah. What is your ideal date then?
Ideal date? My ideal date, it literally we could do anything. Like anything. What it would be. Like, even if we were just to like go to a scenic spot and just sit there. But what makes it an ideal date for me would be the conversation that we would have and the connection that we would have during it. Because I feel like, to me, that's the most important. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like you lose track of time when you're just talking to someone and you guys are just lost in conversation. I think that is one of the best parts in any date, is just losing track of time because you guys are so into each other and nothing else matters no matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter whether you're at dinner, it doesn't matter whether you're outside. It's like everything just disappears and it's only just you two. And I think that goes about, like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's that connection between you two that you guys are having. Because also I can be very spontaneous and, of course, goofy or whatnot and whatever. So, like, I tend to do, like, very spontaneous things on the spot. So, like, if I'm on a date per se, like, and we're waiting in a line to go somewhere or whatnot, like, I may just break out and dance and do a waltz with, the person I'm on a date with.
Oh.
Ballroom dance and just, do something completely random and spontaneous. That's the reason why I say it, like, what we do doesn't really actually matter. It's like the conversation and how we connect. That's the most ideal part for me. But I guess, like, to better that, I guess the most ideal would be somewhere that we can talk and spend time getting to know each other. So, like, if we're at a nice fancy restaurant or at McDonald's, something. But, like, yeah, I mean, usually, it's always like expensive restaurants, not because it's the purpose of a date. For me, I get to, because I love food, I get to try those expensive restaurants, so I'm happy. Period. So, regardless of whether the date goes well or not, at least I had good food.
Oh, I see.
I mean, for you could just be like, as long as you got food and it was free, you're all good.
Fair.
Just saying.
Then what is your, I guess, dream significant other, I guess?
Other than Arya Saki? Let's see here.
Like, what is your ideal, like, any like personality traits, or I don't know.
Like Arya in general. Just Arya is just amazing. No, I'm kidding. I would say a very strong, independent, open-minded, very funny, likes to talk and communicate, and I think those are the core things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and is very mindful of other people and well-mannered. Not all the time, but just well-mannered. So I think that would be the most ideal. Yes, and Courtney is most ideal, actually. Considering the fact that, you know, I like climbing trees and she's very tall. I'm kidding. But yeah, that would be it. That would be my most ideal, because to me, like, yeah, you do have to have a physical attraction to someone at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And my taste in women in terms of like physicality and their looks and whatnot, it differs a lot. So it's not like something very specific at all. So I don't really discriminate towards any of that. Like, I've had the pleasure of experiencing a lot of different things in my life. So like, I think personality traits are very vital and key to me nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all the questions I have, but I have a fun activity for you.
Woo! What is it?
So I went on this website, it's called Tier List, and basically you're gonna rank all your, I guess the Valorant champions. I'll screen share for you.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta adjust like everything else. Ah. Okay, display cat fire. Okay. Hold on.
Holding. I'm holding.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot about this. I did Wendy happy.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Whoa, it's so detailed. What the heck? It's so pretty. What the heck? I wish I had nice writing like that.
Alright, I'm ready.
Okay. And I gotta adjust. Wait, hold on. I gotta adjust the screen for you personally. There we go. Okay, let's start with from the left.
From the left. There's so many AC characters down there. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Wait, I streamed it on Discord too for you.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay. So starting with Breach, I would put Breach. I would put Breach as C tier.
Okay.
Brim, I would put to. Damn it! I would put in C tier as well. Cypher, I would put into B tier. Jet, I would put into S tier.
Okay.
Omen, I would put into B. Yeah, I would put Omen into B. Phoenix, I would put into A. Raze, I would put into A. Reyna, I would put into S. Sage, I would put into A. Sova, I would put into S. Viper goes into a non-category. She doesn't even deserve a spot.
Oh! Is that Diana's main or something?
Yes, it is Diana's main. I would put it into teacher.
Oh, okay.
We're doing this on my favorites, not I could do this technically on what agents are good in this meta and whatnot, but I'm not doing that. I'm putting it into my favorites whatsoever. So in general, my all-time favorite, because I am one, I am a Sova main.
Mm-hmm.
Reyna is also one of my favorites. I think Jet is amazing to play because she's so flashy. Phoenix is solid because he can be used on most of every single map, and he's great. Raze, practically the same thing. She's just a damage dealer in general, and she's great. Sage, I like to play Sage when, I don't feel like doing much in a game. Mm-hmm. But Sage is incredible still. I used to main Sage, and I still love using Sage. And she's very versatile. Mm-hmm. And Cypher is... I used to main Cypher as well. Oh. Fucking excuse me, Courtney. And then Cypher, I like Cypher because he brings something very, very new. Oh, you're missing a couple of agents in here.
Yeah. I just picked one. I know Killjoy's missing, but where'd you put Killjoy?
Killjoy would be in with Cypher, so okay. And then Yoru would probably be in like C.
Okay.
Anyways, and Astra would probably be in like B.
Okay.
But Cypher is very versatile. I like Cypher because he's funny. His lines are really funny too. Mm-hmm. His voice lines. And Omen is basically Reaper from Overwatch, but we won't mention that. But Omen, I think Omen is very underrated, and he's just very good at what he does. And then Breach is fun, but I don't really get to see him be played much. He's not as viable as he used to be. Brim, I don't play Brim at all anymore. I played him like once or twice or maybe like 4 times, but like I don't play Brim. He can be good, but I just don't play him. And then Viper, Viper annoys the shit out of me. Excuse me.
Any reason why?
Okay. Because, alright, the reason I don't like Viper is because a lot of people don't know how to play Viper. And if you don't know how to play Viper, it is the most annoying thing to have on your team. Because you have to constantly be like, hey, can you put your wall down? Hey, can you put your orb down? Hey, can you not do that? Hey, if you're going to ult here and obstruct all of our vision and put us on almost a 60-40 position, like 60% out of 40, mm-hmm. You know? Like, it kind of distracts me sometimes, and it's kind of like at a disadvantage for a lot of other people on your team. It's just like, it's the same with any other smokes too. Like if you have someone who's a bad smoker on your team, then you're going to get blocked off from a lot of things, and smokes are going to be placed in random spots that you don't want, and it's just going to be horrible.
So
but Viper was there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good is Diana at Viper then?
Viper, okay, Diana is very good.
But on a scale of 1 to 10, would you like to, unless you don't want to say it?
How good she is at Viper?
Mm-hmm.
This is probably going to be sent to Diana. I know this. Like I feel it in my bones that this is going to be sent to her. She's a 12 out of 10 with Viper. I mean, yeah. 12 out of 10. She's a 12 out of 10 Viper. Yeah. That's.
Are you
I'm
sure?
not commenting.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's not about Diana. It's about the agent. So, yeah.
Have you played Killjoy?
Yes, I have.
Do you like playing her, or?
I do. I played her a lot when she first came out too. And I really liked her. After her nerfs, it was a little harder.
Oh,
I think
she
it's
got
okay.
nerfed?
Yeah. She got nerfed like, I don't know. It was like like an act or two ago.
Okay.
But yeah, she's very good. You know, she can work on a lot of different maps, and she is probably the most dominant sentinel in the game. So she goes over Cypher and Sage. Yeah.
Okay.
Because she's used way more, so she has a lot of playability. Why? Who do you play?
I'm a Sage main.
Watch out!
Oh my gosh!
Nothing wrong with that.
Thank you for the raid. But yeah, I'm a Sage main. I know it's very basic, but she was very
No, there's
easy.
nothing wrong with that. Sage can be very like you can do a lot of really big brain plays with Sage.
I have not
I think her
done
kit
any.
is still very good. It's fine. But yeah, I think Sage is solid. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, as long as you just didn't pick Viper, you know, it's fine.
I mean, I wanted to main Killjoy because she's kind of cute, but yeah, I'm not very good at Killjoy.
Oh, but Killjoy could be your thing. You know, you could just set up everything, go hide somewhere. You know, that could work too. That's also what Killjoy does.
Is there like a
It's like,
practice
just set up all your
tool
stuff in.
other than like the gun range? I can just use her skills.
No, it would probably be gun. It would probably be the range in general.
Okay.
And then learning different lineups or learning different setups and how you set up on different maps and everything. Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for today, Teal. Thank you for coming today. Do you have
Thank you for having me.
any, I guess, social media you want to plug in, or just say
Yo, if you guys
shameless?
want to follow me at twitch.tv/spacedOutBlonde. Yeah, definitely follow me there. If you guys want quality entertainment, follow me also on my other Twitch account, twitch.tv/WendyHappy2019.
Oh my gosh!
Definitely check me out there too. Yeah, my socials are for Twitter and for Instagram is still the same. It's still TEALB0T game. Yeah, they're all the same. I would rather shout out everyone else.
What?
Go follow everyone else.
It's for shameless self-promotion. The keyword self-promotion. Teal.
Oh, and if you guys are not doing anything else later on today, make sure you go congratulate Julie Boo on getting partnered.
Oh my gosh.
That's Julie Boo, JULIEBOU. She just got partnered, so that's great too. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to Wendy Happy 2019.
Oh my gosh. Teal, you're too much.
And if you guys didn't know, if you have Twitch Prime, you can sub to your favorite
Oh my
streamer for free. For free. That's right, for free. So use your Twitch Primes now, because you know, if you do, you're gonna get 7 years of happiness guaranteed from Wendy herself.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Thank you, Teal. I will see you, I guess, another day.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Have a good rest of your stream.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Alright, thank you, Teal, for coming on today. I shouted out his actual Twitch, so please go follow him if you can. Excuse me. Okay, let's find someone to raid. Oh my gosh, let's raid! Speaking of, let's raid Julie! Cause she got, like Teal said, she got partnered! We gotta raid her! Shoot, I need to come up with a good raid message. I guess just congrats on partnered on repeat, I guess. Oh well. Hold on, I need to put this thing. Yeah, okay. Just gonna put that on repeat. Okay, this is our raid message for Julie. Please, be nice. And, yeah, I'm so happy that she got partnered. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, see you later, guys. Tomorrow, stream again. Bye.